all. On behalf of GPA and Heartfulness Institute, I welcome you all to the second session. The present scenario of COVID has made us all face various situations and challenges which have increased our stress levels and thus disturbed our focus. To give you a simple analogy, yesterday we all wanted to focus on meditation. However, some technical glitch caused issues and we could not concentrate. In the same way, our brain is also the most technical part of our body. And to make sure there are no glitches when it works, we need to practice resilience, which will help inner joy. To guide us for this, we have with us Heartfulness Guru, Dr. Alok Malik. Dr. Alok is an ex-military surgeon and currently the group CEO of Omni Hospitals, a South Indian-based hospital chain. Post his army career, he has successfully created a leadership, excellence, operational transformation, and strategic growth across many hospitals in India and overseas. He is passionate about healthcare, IT, and he has been invited as a speaker for international fora. He is an advisor to many healthcare IT companies and the recipient of the Top 50 Smart Healthcare Leaders of the World Award in 2018. Dr. Alok Malik is a practicing heartfulness consultant for more than 25 years. Meditation has helped him find a deeper purpose of life, to find balance between personal and professional life. It has helped him relate with human beings with compassion and live life with joy and gratitude. Over to you, Dr. Alok Malik.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the kind introduction. Good morning, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's so wonderful speaking to, I think, one of the most powerful GPAs in the country. And so let's before, without wasting any time, let's start straight away. Today, we are going to be discussing what is resilience, what makes us resilient, what happens when we are not resilient, and how meditation helps us become more resilient. I will also touch upon what everybody has their top 12 skills, and these are my top 12. And we will come to that in a while. So before we understand what is resilience, let's understand what happens when we are non-resilient. And let's look at a small story. So this lady joins a hospital. She loves it. And every day she goes there to a job full of passion, full of interest. She's excited. She knows she can make a difference. But within a year, it's hard to recognize her. She feels life is meaningless. She becomes detached and aloof. Her patients say that she's become unkind. And this is a combination of stress, exhaustion, and long-term disability. This is what we call burnout, right? So the lack of resilience ultimately results in burnout. We're all doctors, but it always helps to kind of see how the whole thing works out. So you have the autonomous nervous system, fight or flight. Blood moves to major muscles, hands and feet get cold. Blood pressure ratchets up, breathing's shallow, pupils dilate, saliva thickens, etc., etc. And when we are fearful and excited, and we feel pain and unappreciated, there is this alarm bell in the amygdala. The hypothalamus sends out an urgent call for the stress hormones, the full cortisol flow. And there is all systems are in a fight or flight mode. And the hippocampus stores a memory of this event. So next time, the alarm rings earlier and stronger. And that's the positive feedback loop. The more you do it, the more stressed you become the next time. On the other hand, when we are loved and valued and there's no threat, there's no loss, there's no rejection, we spill a lot of oxytocin and natural opioids for a sense of ease and calm. There's a lot of endorphins, which actually kill bacteria and other natural opioids and chemicals which relieve pain and reduce inflammation. In repetitive stress situations, stress is obviously a physical event, it creates physical reactions. But in repetitive stress situation, as I said, it keeps on going into the hippocampal memory. Because hippocampus is the guy that helps us put the whole thing in perspective. It's supposed to calm down the amygdala and tell the hypothalamus to stop the flow of stress hormones. However, he's doing in a chronic stress situation, the continuous cortisol overflow kills hippocampal cells, shrinking it, right? It's easier to stimulate, a smaller stress stimulates the amygdala. Earlier, a larger stress used to ring the alarm. Now a smaller stress rings the alarm. So that's how the whole thing keeps on getting worse and worse. And then, of course, we ruminate. We have a mind, we are human beings, we ruminate. We start continuously thinking about various aspects of the situations which was upsetting. We start even projecting into the future to worry about things, especially, what if this happens or what if this doesn't happen? Now, this itself creates alarm bells. This itself creates a continuous state of cortisol flow. And there was a beautiful video I once saw, I wish I could show it here, where when you see animals, they also get stressed. But the moment the stressor is removed, they totally go back to normal. Humans, on the other hand, will continue to stay stressed because of this memory loop, because of the amygdala getting stimulated, the alarm ringing in a smaller and smaller stresses. So you're in a state of continuous cortisol flow, continuous amygdala stimulation. And that is a stage of chronic stress. And so most of the things actually don't happen. We just keep thinking about it. Okay? Actually, they don't happen. So this is stress. You're over-engaged. You're overreactive. There's lots of hyperactivity, urgency. Stress is mostly a physical event with a biochemical result inside the body, which obviously hurts the body. It is supposed to be fight or flight, supposed to help us during emergencies, but when it becomes continuous, it starts hurting the body. Whereas burnout is more on the emotional side. When you're chronically stressed, it is a severe reaction to continuous chronic stress. You are disengaged, your emotions get blunted, you feel helpless. You totally give up on your motivational levels. The burnout, as he has mentioned, Dr. Anuragan mentioned yesterday, has three components. So once you're stressed and exhausted, the first is exhaustion. You see 200 patients a day. By the time you're seeing your 150th patient, you came out a lot of vim, a lot of vigor, a lot of passion and compassion. I'm going to help humanity today. But by the time you're down to your 150th patients, you're totally exhausted. And once you get exhausted, you start with compassion, but the compassion goes away. And what happens? By the time you cross to 150, you start snapping at your patients. And once you start snapping at your patients, you're still at heart compassionate. You feel bad about yourself. Oh, I could have been a better doctor. I'm not a good enough doctor. So there are those three main things in burnout. The first thing is exhaustion, leading to what is known as depersonalization. You're not the same person. You become depersonalized. You lose your compassion, right? Leading to lack of self-value. I am not a good doctor. It may seem life not worth living. Chronic states of burnout. Burnouts at many categories, many levels, and chronic states of severe states of burnout. People become suicidal. Okay, so it a lot of emotional symptoms. You feel helpless, you feel trapped, the loss of motivation, and very, very decreased sensory comprehension. I'm not a good doctor. I could have been better. The moment you shout at a patient and it hits you. So you know that you're on the road of burnout, that you need to develop your resilience when you feel every day is a bad day. It seems like caring for anything in your work seems like, it's a total waste of energy. You're exhausted all the time. Majority of the work that you do, you see, it's all humdrum. It doesn't make a difference to anybody. Nothing that you do is appreciated, and it doesn't make a difference to anybody. Typical signs of burnout. Many of us have experienced this temporarily because we were experiencing transient burnout. We come out of it. Unfortunately, many people don't. And healthcare workers, the world over, amongst all professional groups, it has been proven that they have the highest rates of burnout. Many of us have experienced these transient states. But the good news is, neuroscience has proven that the brain is very elastic. Even the most entrenched thought patterns and behaviors can change. Okay, how do we change it? We try to become resilient. So resilience is the ability to bounce back. It's the ability to deal with challenges and still hold your head high. It's the ability to be strong on the inside. It's the ability to cope. Coping is a very strong resilience skill. It's one of the strongest resilience skills. The ability to survive. That, in short, is resilience. It is the psychological stress which helps us deal with stress, especially chronic repetitive stress, helps us deal with crisis, helps us deal with hardships. When life situations really become troublesome, as they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And this is the tough guy who is resilient. It's the one quality and skill we need the most to get us through difficult times. And Corona is a difficult time. We all face difficult times as communities, difficult times as individuals. And that's the time when we dig deeper into our sources of resilience and stand up and be counted. Okay? So, to recount is the ability to bounce back. See, the ability to keep calm in the face of the severest of criticisms, problems in life, major life issues. The ability to self-right yourself. You're falling, you prevent yourself from falling. And once again, the good thing is really, if you're not resilient today, you can become resilient. It can be learned. Many people have learned it. And so can us. So it doesn't really prevent challenges from coming our way. It doesn't really prevent stresses from occurring. It doesn't really prevent the amygdala from firing faster or the cortisol flow from flowing. But it helps us to be prepared for whatever comes your way. bend not break. That is a typical resilience mantra. Okay? It helps you deal with increased workload, dealing with difficult co-workers, many kinds of challenges in your personal and professional life, and still come out on top smiling. We have seen resilient people in our lives. We will share a very nice resilience story towards the end of this presentation. Okay, so there are 4 domains of resilience. You need to be physically strong. So there is physical resilience, right? You need to be emotionally strong. You need to be mentally strong. With flexibility, increase attention span, the ability to focus. And you need to be spiritually strong. The spiritual resilience, you're calm, you're composed, you relax all the time. You look at the good things in life, not the bad things. So these 4 domains of resilience are very important. And based on these, we get into the meat of the session today, how to develop resilience. This is my talk 12 list, and I'm sure we'll get questions and suggestions at the end where people will share their own resilient strategies. I hope this session is kind of, there's a lot of back and forth, but this is my talk 12 list, what I feel really makes us resilient. Health is important. It's so important to be flexible, to eat healthy. Now, this list is not that number 1 is very important, because as humans, we all are used to linear lists. But take this as a circular list. Everything is as important as each other. For individual cases, one thing which may be lacking in you, a person who is not taking care of himself, for him, maybe this point may be much more important than the others. But it's got a number on it just because we are used to have numbers. Okay? This is my favorite. I mean, of course, this is a whole discussion topic of 40 minutes by itself. Managing time. Once you're overwhelmed with work, and that's what creates stress most of the time. If you manage your time better, you are less likely to get stressed and less likely to go towards burnout. So some of those time management skills and tricks are: plan your day in advance. Like whatever you need to do tomorrow, plan it today. It's a very essential trick. Make a small diary and write 4 things that you want to do tomorrow, that you tell yourself that this I will do tomorrow. That is what establishing the goals for tomorrow. Write them down. Eat that frog first is a very important management principle. Amongst those 3 goals that you have set for yourself for the next day, pick up the goal which is the worst for you, which you feel that, this is the most difficult. And the difficult thing, we keep on postponing it. Do that first, and you have a sense of accomplishment with you. Or the most difficult goal I finished early in the morning, right? And that's called eating the frog. Don't waste time on meetings. I hate meetings, right? And even if you have to have meetings, have them agenda driven. Let everybody come prepared for the meeting, and give them a time. Meeting will last only 15 minutes. Don't get into meetings that last hours and hours with absolutely no outcomes. Pomodoro is another management trick, very popular. I've taught it to all my children. I taught it to all my juniors. The trick is like this. It was actually created by an Italian PhD student, and who had Pomodoro in Italian actually means tomato. He has a clock the shape of tomato. So what he did was he used to set his clock for half an hour, and for half an hour he will just focus on his studies, and keep all distractions aside. No telephone, no nothing, no mobile, no WhatsApp, no Facebook, everything aside. For 30 minutes, he's just focusing on this. Then he'll take a 5-minute break. So this 35 minutes was one Pomodoro, right? Later on, psychologists, they realized that 35 to 40 minutes is the optimum time for the brain to focus on one activity. So each Pomodoro was 30 to 40 minutes, including a 5 minutes break. Then there is a next Pomodoro. And after 4 Pomodoros, you take a bigger break. So morning, you have 3 to 4 Pomodoros, you have a lunch break, and then you have 3 to 4 Pomodoros. Like this, you can achieve a lot more work with a lot more efficiency, with a lot more focus. Always learn to delegate non-important tasks. Always. Don't do things that you don't have to do. An uncluttered room, an uncluttered office, uncluttered living space always leads to better efficiencies. Caffeine naps, I never knew about this. When I read this, I said, oh, that's interesting. It seems that, it's proven that caffeine, when you drink coffee, you're trying to be alert. When you drink coffee, it hits in, it takes time like 15 to 20 minutes to hit your brain, right? So it doesn't get effective for the first 15 to 20 minutes. So you take coffee, go to sleep. So in those 15 to 20 minutes, you are actually resting your body. And by the time you get up, your mind is totally alert because caffeine is kicked in. Don't waste time on small decisions. There's this famous 10-10-10 rule. I've added another 10 to that. So if you have to make a decision, oh, boss, kaun sa movie dekhne ka hai kal? So will this decision have any effect on your life 10 days from now, 10 weeks from now, 10 years from now? And I added another 10 to that, 10,000 years from now, after many lifetimes. Okay? Now, so my friends call it the Malik's 10-4 rules. Okay? So now you watch a movie, you're spending half a day just trying to decide which movie to watch. It's ridiculous. 10 days from now, you won't even think about it, right? Or even 10 hours from now. So that rule is a very interesting rule. Now, once you manage your time, you have enough time to take time out. Go reconnect with friends, with family, reconnect with yourself. Many of these rules keep on flowing into each other. You have more time to go to your gym. You have more time to exercise because you're managing your time well, right? So many of these keep on reconnecting to each other. Coping is an important skill. Coping is also linked to another skill called being a survivor. It is you telling yourself that I have in me the strength and the courage, and I can do whatever I want. Some people give in easily. Some people are tough nuts, they will never give in. They will never give in. They'll keep fighting. And as Stephen Fry said, wisdom is actually the ability to cope. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. This ability to cope has to develop from within. You have to tell yourself, no, I have the strength. We have immense reservoirs of strength. Immense reservoirs of strength. And if we are able to dip into that, if we are able to tell ourselves, our life is what we think we are. If we think we are weak, we'll remain weak. If we think we are strong, I can do this. Nothing can defeat me. That is how it's going to pan out. If you think that, hey, this is too difficult, I won't be able to do it. We keep running into many of our friends, unfortunately, like that. I can't do this. I don't think I will be able to do this. And you've given in you've thrown the towel. You've not put up a fight, right? But the day you tell yourself, no, I can do this, you're on your road to developing the ability to cope. It's a very, very important ability. This is, I'm reminded of an old Indian custom where the lady in the house used to every 6 months or so, my mom used to say, she used to go to her mother's place, or every 1 year or so. Okay. Every 1 year, definitely, for a couple of months. That was connecting to a peer group, taking time off. Brilliant method to cope. Brilliant method to de-stress yourself. Brilliant method to get away from burnout. Another story, not my mother, Mother Teresa. Now, all the nurses, young girls who are working with Mother Teresa, obviously they were all on the verge of getting burnt out. You're seeing so many sick and suffering people. You're taking care of hundreds of them every day. You're nursing them. It can drain away the compassion of anybody. Mother Teresa has a rule. Every 1 year, they had to compulsorily take a 2 months break and go back home, so that they connected with their source of support, their family, their friends, their peer group. Get away from this source of stress, repetitive stress. Get away, de-stress. It's like therapy. Okay? Come back totally recharged. Come back full of compassion. Come back full of vim and vigor to get back at the grind. Okay? So when I see this tip, I say, okay, my mom used to do it, Mother Teresa used to do it. Great tip. Communication. Hey, these are all wise things. You say, okay, if you communicate with somebody, you lessen your burden, right? You lessen your burden. Something on if you don't communicate, it keeps on burdening you. You are stressed. You're getting burnt out. You lost your compassion as a doctor. You are shouting at your patients. You are being rude to them just because you're seeing too many of them. And then you start doubting your decision. Did I did the right thing? Did I really want to become a doctor? Here I am shouting at my patients. Okay? And it's time to talk to somebody. Once you communicate, maybe he might be able to help you with some ideas. Or at the very minimum, you're unburdening yourself. Always talk to people. Always. That's why, once again, all these points keep on, if you have a peer group for support, there's no sense in having a peer group if you don't communicate with them. And there is no sense in having a peer group if you don't find the time to go and meet them and talk to them, right? So all of these tricks actually flow into each other. Now, compassion. Ultimately, burnout is lack of compassion, right? When it comes to doctors, most of the time the burnout is when you're running on gas, basically. One of the monikers of burnout is it's like your car is running on fumes. You've run out of petrol. It's just some fumes left in your carburetor and the car is running on that. We all doctors, we all wanted to serve. This is a wonderful opportunity for us. We felt when we were students, okay, you can make some money also. Plus, you're serving. You're serving while you're making money. We were all essentially compassionate because when we decided to become doctor, it's for our compassion pushing us to become doctors. And then when you see all these stresses, when you see you're overburdened, every surgical or medical or pediatrics or any resident knows what overburdening is. And you're working 2 days at a stretch, 2 nights at a stretch, and then all that compassion just goes away. You are running on fumes. So any activity which improves your compassion index by default kills the burnout. It kills the very basis of burnout. Once you're compassionate, once you're loving, I read this very beautiful thing that we all have finite sources of compassion. Only saints at the very highest level who are connected to the universal source are infinite sources of compassion. Like Mother Teresa didn't have to take a break. But a girl, she used to say, yo, every year you take a break and go home. She didn't have to take a break. She was linked to the universal source and she had infinite compassion, right? But for most of us, normal human beings, we need to find ways and means to connect to that infinite source so that our compassion ki tanki, as I call it, and compassion ki tanki is always full, right? It never runs dry. It starts running dry when you realize that you're snapping at people, you're shouting at people. And after you've shouted at somebody, you start shouting at yourself. Why did I do that? I have no business to be talking to this person like this. No business to be shouting at this person like this. Right? Because lack of compassion for the others automatically results in lack of compassion for yourself. You start hating yourself. So that is what depersonalization, that is what lack of self-worth is all about. And the deeper you keep on going into burnout, trust me, it becomes so dark. People in severe burnout, they have such a poor image of themselves. I am an idiot. I should never have become this. I'm in the wrong profession. I can't do this. Survivorship. Once again, it's the epitome of coping. A person who says, oh, no, I can't do this, I can't do this. He doesn't know how to cope. A person who learns to cope ultimately becomes a survivor. Never give up. This is the slogan of cancer survivors. It's surprising, those who have worked with cancer patients, that the patients who actually survive actually have a very strong survival instinct inside them. I will beat this disease. There are very few patients who have this survival instinct and don't survive. There are many others who keep fighting. Oh, I wish I would survive. Oh, I wish the doctor could save me. But then they've never told themselves, I will beat this disease. That's called survivorship. These odds, that's called survivorship, right? And if it's the nth level of coping. Coping is you're just trying to, let me figure out how to cope with this problem. I have a disease. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know whether I'll be able to cope with it. And that, honed to the nth degree, makes you a survivor. Nothing can touch me. I'm going to survive. I'm going to beat this. Whatever it takes. I had a friend, a senior in the army. For some reason, he became obese. And one day it struck him, hey, I need to get rid of this. I'm going to beat this. He was playing squash 3 hours daily. He went on a healthy diet because he put on weight because of an unhealthy diet. Squash diet. Within 6 months, he has recovered what he had picked up in the last 10 years. That's called survivorship. I will beat this. Okay? That's the nth level of coping. Okay? Now, this is part of the domain of emotional resilience. When you tell your mind, whenever we have a lot of emotions, right? We have happy emotions and happy emotions. Happy emotions you keep and happy emotions you kick them out. How do you kick them out? Tell the mind to shut up. It's a very simple trick. Become the bird on the tree. Like old our Vedic scripture said, you are the bird, you're not the tree. The tree means the mind and the body. The bird is the soul. Identify yourself with the soul, with your soul. Step out. Observe your emotions. Oh, I've got a sad emotion inside me. I'm feeling sad. Tell your mind, shut up. I'm not listening to you. Replace it with a happy emotion. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Till then, happy emotions just stop coming. It's just a matter of training your mind. find meaning in your life. Of course, you don't have to ask Google. You have to ask your heart. And that's where meditation comes in. Unless you find meaning in our life, many a times we just keep roaming from here to there. We just keep trying to find that meaning. Most of the time, when we don't find the meaning, we keep going from one to somebody will, okay, let's do wild water rafting. He gets a thrill, then that goes away. Okay, let's do bungee jumping. Gets a thrill, then that goes away. And ultimately you realize that I am seeking thrills after thrill. It may be drugs, it may be hash, it may be dangerous sports, it may be climbing Mount Everest. All those are great things. But then ultimately you are just chasing a thrill, trying to find a meaning in life. Whereas the ancient Indian saints used to say, you want to find the true meaning in life, go inwards. You don't have to run outwards. Go inwards, and that's where you'll find the true meaning in life. And that's where you'll find fulfillment. And that's where you'll find true joy. And then you can still go and do wild water rafting just because you enjoy it, not because you're seeking a thrill, not because you're seeking a meaning in life, right? You can still go and do all of those just for the heck of it. Just go. It's, bucket list. I wanted to go and climb Mount Everest, go do it. But not because you're trying to chase a thrill or find a meaning in life. You found your meaning in life deep inside you. You found that joy and that fulfillment deep inside you. Everything else just still remains the same, but the focus changes. Okay, so this is the best part. So we always run into lots of stress in workspaces because of, especially in India, I've seen this. I've had the privilege of working in many countries, and I realized that the worst bosses you get are in India. If you're a hard worker, they'll give you more work. Okay? Learn to say no. You don't have to work 24/7. You don't have to really take your work home unless really required once in a while. Don't be on the phone all the time. Have balance. There's a time for home. There's a time for work. Your boss wants you to stay till 9 o'clock. You just have to tell him once, I'm sorry, sir. Can't stay beyond 6:30. Just say, you just have to have the courage to say that once. After that, he will never tell you. He may feel bad about it, but he will not trouble you after that. So you have to set boundaries yourself. If you don't set boundaries, you'll keep cribbing. So many people have come to me and cribbed, hey, my boss is itna kharab hai, he keeps shouting at me. I said, I will blame you. I said, why? I said, you let him shout at you. You can always politely and firmly tell him, sir, I did not give you the permission to shout at me. I don't like anybody shouting at me. If you have any problem with me, you can always talk to me politely and tell me. Okay? Learn to set boundaries. It's your right. Exercise that right. Now, as I said, this is last but not the least. For many, this is probably the most important. To learn to relax and learn to meditate. It helps you go deep inside. It helps you find the meaning in life. It helps you find joy. It helps you find compassion. And just the key thing, you find compassion, you will never get burnt out. Because you're depleted, your compassion reserves are depleted. That's why you get burnt out, right? We'll come to this in a while. So let's recount a different kind of story. Bhavesh, I don't know how many of you know about Bhavesh, but I have heard him live. And whatever happens in the video happened in that room also. Okay? He was born simple lower middle class in Mumbai with a partial visual disability. By the time he was an adult, he was completely blind, technically completely blind. But his strong resilience, his strong survivorship, no, I will get past this. created this extraordinary story. For those of you who have not heard it, it's a revelation. For those of you who have heard it, you will enjoy hearing it once more.
दोस्तों, यहाँ जो ऊर्जा, जो एनर्जी मैं महसूस कर रहा हूं, उसके लिए इतना जरूर कह सकता हूं कि मंजिलों को कभी यह ना बताओ, मंजिलों को कभी यह ना बताओ कि तुम्हारी तकलीफें कहां है, लेकिन तकलीफों को यह जरूर बताओ कि तुम्हारी मंजिलें कहां है। अंध अपंग लाचार बेचारा, यह शब्द ही गलत है। हम शरीर से अंध अपंग हो गए तो आज 21वीं सदी में बहुत कुछ करने के लिए है, लेकिन एक बार जो अगर हम मन से अंध अपंग हो गए तो सब कुछ खत्म। बचपन में फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड नर्सरी से याद आता है, कभी मैं बुक्स नहीं पढ़ पाया, ब्लैक बोर्ड नहीं पढ़ पाया, लेकिन बचपन से कुछ अलग, कुछ हटके करने की इतनी इच्छा थी। घर में कोई नहीं रहा तो छुरी काटे, कैंची लेके पतंगे बना रहा हूं, कहीं से गीली मिट्टी लाके कुछ खिलौने बनाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं। काफी बार पनिशमेंट भी मिली क्योंकि पूरा घर मैस हो जाता था, काफी बार कान भी मरोड़े गए, लेकिन ये प्यास कोशिश करता था कि कैसे तो भी जाके बुझे, जिंदगी में कुछ हटके करना है। और ये जाके कुछ संतुष्टि हुई 12th में 1988 में, जब मैं मेरे क्लासमेट के साथ में हमने एक ऐसी साइकिल बनाई जिसको 2 पेडल डाले गए थे, वो हैंडल पकड़ के पेडलिंग करता था, पीछे मैं उसको सपोर्ट करता था दूसरे पेडल से, और ऐसा करके नागपुर में पढ़ता था मैं। हमने नागपुर से नेपाल काठमांडू और वापस नागपुर 5620 किलोमीटर की वो साइकिल टूर उस समय में की, 17.5 साल की उम्र में, 45 दिनों में। लिम्का बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड में उसको दर्जा दिया गया। यहाँ मुंबई में ही नेशनल एसोसिएशन फॉर द ब्लाइंड है। मेरी क्रिएटिविटी की भूख को शांत करने के लिए यहाँ पे मैंने प्लेन कैंडल सीखी थी, जो लाइट जाने के बाद में हम कैंडल जलाते थे। बस वो एक कैंडल मैंने सीखी, और महाराष्ट्र में जो महाबलेश्वर है हिल स्टेशन, वहां पे मैं रहता हूँ। घर के नाम पे एक 12x15 की खुली उस समय में हुआ करती थी। बस किचन समझो, ड्राइंग रूम समझो, बेडरूम समझो, हर कोई वो बस 12x15 का रूम ही था। यहाँ से 6-8 महीने पहले माता जी का स्वर्गवास हुआ था कैंसर से, तो डैडी के ऊपर इतना कर्जा था कि मुझे कैंडल का कारखाना शुरू करने के लिए उनसे तो कोई पॉसिबिलिटी थी कि कुछ आर्थिक मदद मिल सके, मैं मांग भी नहीं सकता था। तो 200, 500, 1000, 2000 करके एक 7-8 हजार रुपए सब दोस्तों से इकट्ठा किए, और एक सादी कैंडल का डाई उस समय में मैंने खरीदा, और 20 किलो मोम जो कच्चा माल लगता है, वैक्स, और इस इंडस्ट्रीज की घर में ही एक कोने में 2x2 के टेबल पे सनराइज कैंडल की नींव रखी गई। लेकिन दोस्तों, आज कहते हुए बहुत खुशी होती है कि उस एक डाई, एक डिजाइन से जो शुरुआत हुई, आज 9700 डिजाइन सनराइज कैंडल प्रोड्यूस करती है। और जो 20 किलो वैक्स से हमने जो शुरुआत की थी, 20 किलो वैक्स जो कच्चे माल से हमने शुरुआत की थी, आज 200 टन मोम हमें कम पड़ जाता है। लेकिन इससे भी बड़ी बात दोस्तों, कि मेरे साथ 250 और विजुअली इंपेयर्ड फ्रेंड मेरे कारखाने में काम करते हैं। ये मुझे बहुत गर्व महसूस होता है। नहीं तो घर के लोगों ने 3 टाइम खाना देना और ज्यादा से ज्यादा संजय गांधी निराधार योजना के 600 रुपया है, उसमें जीवन पूरा खत्म हो जाता था। लेकिन आज मेरे साथ काम करने वाला हर एक मेरा विजुअली इंपेयर्ड फ्रेंड 10,000 से लेकर 30,000-35,000 तक महीने की इनकम प्राप्त कर लेता है, और बहुत खुशी, बहुत स्वाभिमान से अपने पैर पे खड़ा है। जब हमने ये शुरुआत की थी, मैंने जब उस टेबल पे शुरू किया तो सुबह से शाम तक मैं उस कैंडल को बनाता था। और महाबलेश्वर टूरिस्ट प्लेस है, आप सब जानते हैं, तो शाम को महाबलेश्वर में एक रेकड़ी वाले, हैंडक्राफ्ट वाले के साथ 50 रुपये रोज में उस समय में मैंने नक्की किया था, आपने मुझे वहां पे छोड़ देना है। और उस हैंडक्राफ्ट पे मैंने अपनी बनाई हुई कैंडल बेचना शुरू किया। दोस्तों, उस हैंडक्राफ्ट ने ओज कुछ दिया न दिया, लेकिन मुझे जीवन का सबसे बड़ा जो आनंद, सबसे बड़ी जो गिफ्ट मिली ईश्वर की तरफ से, वो मेरी वाइफ, मेरी धर्म पत्नी नीता वहां पे एज ए टूरिस्ट आई हुई थी, और बस वो वहीं की होके रहेगी, मैंने जाने ही नहीं दिया। नो डाउट उस समय में बहुत, उस समय की बात है, मैं बहुत हैंडसम भी हुआ करता था, लेकिन उसका जो साथ मिला, उसका जो सपोर्ट मिला, और उसका भी विजन और मेहनत, इसके साथ में एक एक करके हमने भाड़े पे कारखाना शुरू किया, और आज इतनी बड़ी टीम काम कर रही है। 2008 में एशिया का सबसे बड़ा जो बिजनेस ग्रुप है, उसके तरफ से बेस्ट ब्लाइंड इंटरप्रेन्योर का अवार्ड था, और उस अवार्ड के समय में काफी बार उनके प्रतिनिधि कारखाने पे आए, हम क्या करते हैं, कैसे करते हैं, सब समझा। और उस अवार्ड फंक्शन के बाद में उनके तरफ से एक प्रस्ताव आया कि हम आपको 51 लाख रुपया देना चाहते हैं, बस आप इसको और बढ़ाइए। मैंने 1 सेकंड के भी विनम्र के लिए उनसे कहा, सर हमें पैसा नहीं चाहिए, आपकी 51 लाख हमें बिल्कुल जंग लगा देंगे। आप चाहते हो हमारे साथ खड़ा रहना तो आप हमारे बनाए हुए प्रोडक्ट खरीदे। आप कितनी गिफ्ट, कितनी मिठाई, कितनी चॉकलेट बॉक्स, कितने फ्लावर बुके आप बांटते होंगे, तो क्यों ना आप हमारी बनाई हुई कैंडल खरीदे। इसमें उजाला है, खुशबू है और पीछे इतनी बड़ी टीम को रोजगार भी मिलता है। लेकिन इसको सिंपैथी के रूप में मत लीजिएगा, क्योंकि हम नहीं चाहते कि ब्लाइंड, मेड बाय ब्लाइंड का रबर स्टैंप लगा के, हम बिल्कुल नहीं चाहते कि मेड बाय ब्लाइंड का रबर स्टैंप लगा के हम इसको बेचें। हम इसको क्वालिटी और एकदम बेस्ट क्वालिटी के रूप में हम इसको बेचना चाहते हैं। और बिल्कुल वैसा ही हुआ, और इस तरह से कॉर्पोरेट के साथ हमारा जुड़ा हुआ। उसके बाद तो काफी मल्टी नेशनल्स, काफी सीमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरर्स है, फार्मास्यूटिकल्स है, काफी होटल ग्रुप्स हैं, उनके लिए हमने कैंडल डिजाइन करने शुरू किए। और आज इतनी बड़ी टीम काम कर रही है। मुझे यहाँ आके बहुत अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि मैं यहाँ ग्रांड हयात में आया, उसके पहले मेरे कैंडल यहाँ पहुंच चुके थे। काफी सालों से हम ग्रांड हयात ग्रुप ऑफ होटल्स को कैंडल सप्लाई करते हैं। दोस्तों 2012 में सत्यमेव जयते की भी शूटिंग हुई, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। आमिर खान जी खुद वहां 15 मिनट के लिए आए हुए थे, और बस एक शुरुआत सी हुई, एक टर्निंग पॉइंट हुआ उसमें। और उस एक छोटी सी रेगड़ी से यहाँ तक का जो सफर है, उसको अगर मैं बयान करना चाहूंगा तो बिल्कुल कह सकता हूं कि समा भी हवा में रोशन हो सकती है। जो दिया है, कैंडल है, कि समा भी हवा में रोशन हो सकती है, कश्ती तूफानों से निकल साहिल से जुड़ सकती है। आज जो छोटी टहनी है, कल लंबी पतवार बन सकती है। आग की छोटी चिंगारी कल आग की ऊंची दीवार बन सकती है। मिट्टी जो रौंद दी गई पैरों तले, वह कल ऊंची मीनार बन। बस तू एक बार, बस तू एक बार मेहनत कर ले मेरे दोस्त, तेरी भी किस्मत बदल सकती है, तेरी भी किस्मत बदल सकती है। जिस उम्र में लोग ग्राउंड छोड़ देते हैं,
सब लोग खड़े हो गए आपके
So this was an amazing guy. I had the honor to be in a live audience like this, the way people are hearing him. Amazing guy. So we will now switch to the second part of this session, where we will discuss heartfulness techniques that helps us develop resilience through meditation. So we help it through developing resilience through a heart-focused way. We have heartfulness relaxation to relax the body and mind, cleaning to cleanse the mind and rejuvenate it, and heartfulness meditation, which helps us settle the mind and develop compassion. In meditation, if we want to beat stress, it's not by becoming tougher, as we say, become like the grass and be soft. We've tried being tough all our lives. On the contrary, if we become softer inside, more compassionate inside, we are more able to absorb shocks in life. This inner softness, meditation helps us develop. I've seen people crying during meditation because they're softening up. So many of us have seen young newcomers when they're meditating and crying. I've seen it hundreds of times. It's because they're softening up, right? And that softening up is the beginning of the resilience journey. Our global guide Daji, this is what he says, what is heartfulness meditation. Like in our entire life, we're led by feelings and inspiration. And that is a role in the heart. And when we manage to listen to these feelings and capture the inspiration which are coming from within, we can really master our life. And to do that, we have to learn to listen to the heart again and again. And this whole exercise of fine-tuning the heart with the mind through meditation on the heart. And that's why it's called heartfulness. You make the mind, in a way, subservient to the heart. Your life becomes heart-driven rather than being mind-driven. The mind actually becomes quiet, silent. And as we say, God speaks in silence. And that God within us, residing in the heart, starts speaking and starts taking charge and starts guiding us in doing the right things. So, we will just recap because we'll have a meditation session today also. That's a second meditation session. Heart is the seat of compassion. A person is said to be soft-hearted, light-hearted, gentle-hearted, right? And by meditating on the heart, we become truly compassionate. So I'll just shortly recall how we meditate in heartfulness. In heartfulness, we meditate on the presence of light in the heart. Why light, why heart? Because the aim of meditation is always the highest, though many people start with the lower aims of combating stress, combating sleeplessness. My doctor told me to meditate, etc., etc. It's all okay. We all started like that. But then the highest aim of meditation is Brahmagyan, Atmagyan, self-realization with a capital S. And what is the self? The self is that peace of God within us. And what is that peace of God within us? We call it the inner voice. We call it the inner self. We call it the soul. It is that piece of divinity within us, right? Nobody has touched the divine or God or seen God or touched him or her. But we all know that God is subtler than the subtlest thing known to us, and the subtlest thing known to us is light. So we meditate on light, and we further qualify by saying divine light, Ishwariye Prakash, right? Why in the heart? Because in all religious traditions, it is believed that the heart is the seat of the soul. That divine essence, that part of God, is there within our heart. Angusht Matra Hriday ke bhitar, in our Purana, it is written, the size of a thumb within the heart. Christ in the Christian tradition said, the kingdom of God is within your heart. In the Muslim tradition also, Sufis have written the Persian couplets about the soul being within the heart. So in all religious traditions across the world, it has always been believed that the soul resides in the heart. So we meditate on the presence of light, which denotes that divine essence within us in the heart. The process of meditation is very simple. Please remember that when you meditate, you actually meditate at the level of the subconscious mind. At the conscious mind level, you just take a thought. We do three things. When we say, please start meditation, you do three things. You sit comfortably and close your eyes. You take your attention to your heart, the physical heart. I'm not saying take your focus or take your concentration, take your attention. Attention is a kind of natural focus. It is a focus where you don't put pressure on the mind to focus. The simplest example is a young mother cooking in the kitchen. Her focus is on the cooking, but her attention is naturally there on the baby sleeping in the bedroom. The moment the baby wakes up, she runs. She knows because her attention was there, right? Your patient is very sick. Your attention is, without focusing also, your attention is always there. And if the patient collapses, you somehow know, oh, my patient is not doing well. You somehow know, or most doctors have experienced it. You will call the nurse, "Arey, kya hua usko? Kuch theek thaak hai ki nahi?" Right? So that is attention. You take your attention naturally on the heart. And in your conscious mind, you make a supposition that the heart is filled with divine light. It's a thought that you take in the conscious mind. This thought settles in the subconscious mind. It stays there. In the conscious mind, it will stay for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Whatever time it stays, let it stay. naturally without forcing. If it stays for even 5 minutes or 5 seconds, let it stay. It will go away, let it go away. Don't run after it. Don't repeat it like a mantra, right? It will be replaced by other thoughts. Other thoughts get power from the attention we give to them. Since my attention is on the heart, I'm not giving it attention. So it will keep coming and going. You will be aware about them, but you will not be participating in them. There's a big difference. So they will keep coming and going. You will be aware our thoughts came, but I was aware. But yeah, I didn't get involved in the thought. However, once in a while, we will all get involved in those thoughts. Now that thought, because I've given it attention, it becomes powerful. It settles in the subconscious mind and it creates a chain of thought. The moment we realize that we have gone astray with another thought, you gently push it away. Get your attention back on the heart. Once again, make the supposition that the heart is filled with divine light. That is all that we do in meditation. It's like, it's a semi-passive thing. You don't concentrate on your breath. You don't concentrate on the tip of the nose or on the tricuti. You just keep your attention naturally on the heart. Take a thought. And you're waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting for magic to happen. What is that magic? I'll tell you. In a few days, 2 weeks, what will happen is, after the initial thoughts go away, the other thoughts stop coming. And you experience what is known as no thought. For most of us, that's a very novel experience. Experiencing the state of no thought. No thoughts, right? After another few weeks, what you experience is, apart from no thoughts, your senses start getting dulled. You are dimly aware that you're sitting in a couch. You're dimly aware that, there are children playing outside. This is what we say, you're getting absorbed in meditation. This takes, for most of us, it takes anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks to reach this stage, to start getting absorbed in meditation, right? So that's why I say, please do it regularly for at least 15 minutes every day. And once you start getting absorbed in meditation, you will automatically feel like increasing it. Then you gradually increase it to 1 hour. You're not supposed to meditate more than 1 hour at one time. Okay? So that is meditation. The second heartfulness technique is cleaning. It removes heaviness of impression using the power of our own suggestion and willpower. What are we trying to clean? It's not that we are dirty, but we are trying to let go of things that we don't want to stay inside us. What is it that we don't want to stay inside us? Our worries, our anxiety, our anger, our very strong likes and dislikes, our fears. These are the things which keep troubling us, and we don't want them inside us. So that is the process of cleaning. This is to be done in the evening every day. And the process of cleaning is a much more active process, unlike meditation, which is a semi-passive process. What we do here is, at the end of the working day, you come back home from your hospital clinic, wash your face, sit down. The first thing you do is clean. Whatever your impressions you have corrected, these kind of negative impressions, we try to get rid of them. So in spirituality, all the bad things go out from the back and the good things come in from the front. That is a basic spiritual principle. So you focus on the whole back from here I'm saying focus, no attention, focus, single-minded focus. Okay, you focus on the whole back, from the top of the head to the bottom of the tailbone. And then take a thought that all my impurities inside me, all the grosses inside me, all the unwanted stuff inside me, is going out through my back as vapor. Now in the morning, we said there is a light, we don't try to see the light. In the evening, we say it's going out as vapor, but we don't try to see the vapor. But unlike the morning, I am not just taking a thought and letting it go. I am just keeping the thought constantly on my conscious mind. I'm keeping it there. I'm holding on to it. And I'm not just putting a natural attention on my back. I'm focusing on my back. There's a big difference, right? So then what will happen is, gradually after some time, you will feel that this All this negativity is basically negative energy. Once it comes out, it hits the skin, it creates a sense of heat, vibration on the skin. You will feel it. You will experience it yourself. And once you feel it, that, okay, for some people, it may start coming out in the neck area. For some people, it will start coming out in the sacral area. Okay? Then you change the focus from the full back to that area. That area is probably the size of a fist. Okay? And then accelerate it. In this area, it's coming out faster. It's faster. Till it stops coming out. How do you know it stopped coming out? That skin ke upar, the sense of heat, warmth, vibration, it goes away. That means nothing is coming out. That means that area is clean. Now, move your focus to an adjacent higher area and then make it come out again. It takes about 10 to 20 seconds for it to come out, right? If after 20 seconds also nothing is come out, maybe nothing is going to come out from it. Move to the next higher area. So that way you cover the whole back. It takes about 15 minutes to half an hour. Okay? You should not do it for more than half an hour. At the end of it, you are kind of vacuumized. All this negative energy is gone out from you. At this point of time, you're kind of vacuumized from inside. If you sit next to a person who is very negative, who full of anxieties, for example, all his anxieties will just flow inside you because you're vacuumized. So this is the time you fill up yourself, that the sacred energy of God is flowing into me from the front and filling me up. Now, this is how you do the evening cleaning. Okay? We will send you in the WhatsApp group. There are animated videos. They also explain the same thing, but I'm just trying to explain it because words speak better than video. I always believe that. So, of course, yesterday, Dr. Anurag mentioned the York Hospital study where telomere lengths were compared. It's all published stuff. Okay? DNA extraction was done in Philadelphia. And they found that the meditation group had longer telomeres than the control group, which basically means these people are healthier, they are going to live longer. Okay? That's a good reason to meditate, by the way. So, let's get a practical experience. Now, what I would experience, if you, can you please put your mobiles on silent? We'll have a relaxation session where the audio will play. You just follow what the audio says. At the end of the audio, we will start a meditation in which it will be conducted remotely. And when I say please start meditation, your eyes are closed. Your attention should go on the heart. And you should make a supposition in your mind that your heart is filled with divine light. Stay with that thought as long as it stays. Goes away, let it go away. Other thoughts which come, just keep ignoring them. Okay, because your attention is on the heart itself. So you will in any case be ignoring it. Like an uninvited guest. You don't give him attention, he will just keep coming and going. Thoughts will also the same way keep coming and going. Okay? So let's get into this. Hygiene before that, once again. While you're meditating, even if you feel restless, please keep your eyes closed. You cannot meditate with your eyes open. Something is happening inside you while you're meditating. Whether you are aware about it or not, something is happening inside you. So, please keep your eyes closed. Please resist the temptation to look at your phone. Ideally, please keep your phone in a airplane mode. Or at the very minimum, please put it on full silent so it doesn't even buzz because it will disturb you. Okay? So this is heartfulness relaxation. Sit in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Let your breathing be calm.
Sit comfortably and close your eyes very slowly and very gently. Let's begin with the toes. Wiggle your toes. Now, feel them relax. Feel healing energy from the earth Move up into your feet and ankles. Now feel the healing energy move up your legs, relaxing them. Relax your thighs. Now, deeply relax your hips, stomach, and waist. Relax your back. From the top to the bottom, your entire back is relaxed. Relax your chest and shoulders. Feel your shoulders simply melting away. Relax your upper arms. Relax each muscle in your forearms. Relax your hands right up to your fingertips. Now relax your neck muscles. Move your awareness up to your face. Relax your jaw. Nose. Eyes. Earlobes. Facial muscles. Forehead. All the way to the top of your head. Feel that your whole body is completely relaxed. Scan your system from top to toe. And if there's any part of your body that is still tense, painful, or unwell, spend some more time immersing it in the healing energy of the earth. When you are ready, move your attention to your heart. Rest there for a little while. Feel immersed in the love and light in your heart.
Please start meditation. That's all. Gently open your eyes. Make a mental note of how you felt during the meditation. What are you feeling now after the meditation? Thank you very much. Now I hand over the mic to the Honorable Chair, Dr. Bhagrashri ma'am.
Thank you, sir. That was really very relaxing. I would like to just re-say the 12 rules to resilience, which Dr. Alok Mulek has just given us an idea about. Take care of your health, manage time better, save time, learn to cope, stay connected with sources of support, communicate with peer groups, practice compassion, never give up, never give in, activate positive emotions, find meaning in life, set healthy boundaries, relax and meditate, connect with your inner self. Sir, I'm sure this rich literature of heartfulness medicine will surely enrich all of us to relax ourselves in this stressful COVID era. If there are any questions, we would like to answer them. So there are no questions as of now. So
one thing I just wanted to just remind, meditation is a skill. The more you do it, the better you become. It's like any skill. And I always want people to, I give my example. I wasted 7 years not meditating regularly, right? So now today was the second session of the meditation for participants. Tomorrow is the third session. After that, you can start meditating on a regular basis yourself. So there are 3 things that you do at your own place daily. You do the morning meditation, you do the evening cleaning, and you do the bedtime prayer. The prayer will be discussed tomorrow. It's a small thing, just takes 1 or 2 minutes. And the 2 things you do outside, there is a weekly meditation kind of recharge session with a trainer, which I'm sure GPA President Dr. Rupa Agarwal probably will form a group, and we can have a weekly recharge session for all the doctors who are participating at a convenient time once in a week. And there is a Sunday group meditation, which normally happens in one of the physical locations. There are at least a dozen physical locations in Pune. But right now, because of the lockdown and the virus, it is being done remotely by a global guide every Sunday at 9 a.m. On a YouTube channel live, the Heartfulness YouTube channel. So these are the 5 things. And if initially today you had a different experience, tomorrow you'll have a different feeling. But when you start meditating yourself, the experience will be different. But the real fun starts when your own meditation, as I said, anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks, you start going deep. Then the real fun starts, And then the way I'm talking to you, you'll talk to somebody else. Hey, guys, this is so beautiful. You must try this, right? And so, Dr. Rupa ma'am, I'll start a weekly recharge session for them once they've done the third session tomorrow. And thank you so much. It was a great opportunity talking to all the. This is as I always tell people, this is the best GPA association in the country, the Pune GPA Association. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
With the, I will request the participant, whoever are interested in weekly session, they can write a line to me on my personal WhatsApp message, and we will definitely look into forming a group accordingly. Over to Bhavnesh.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rupa ma'am. It was really great to have everyone here. See you all tomorrow, same time, and please follow the same link for tomorrow also. Thank you.